Hello, mathematicians. Welcome back. Today we are talking about more number patterns. So today what we're going to be doing is you're going to be giving a starting number and the rule, and you're going to have to figure out the next terms that go along with the pattern. Okay, so for example, my starting number is going to be 8. And my rule is going to be plus 7. So yesterday we were given the terms to start out with. Today we're going to be making those terms. So I'm going to start with my starting number, which is my term number 1. And that's 8. And then I'm going to follow my rule, which is plus 7. So I am going to think 8, and I'm going to count up 7. So 8, count up 7, I'm going to get to 15. And then I'm going to apply my rule again. So I'm going to start at 15 this time. I'm going to count up 7 from 15. And I'm going to get to 22. I'm going to make one more term here. So I'm going to start at 22. I'm going to count up 7 more, and I'm going to get to 29. Okay, so now that I've done this, let me turn my light, make it a little bit, that makes it a little bit brighter. Now that I've done this, I am going to notice what I see in my pattern. So what I am noticing is that I'm starting with an even number, and then I'm going to an odd number, an even number, and an odd number. So we learned this before. I think back in like 1st or 2nd grade we learned this. If we have an even number plus an odd number, my rule is an odd number, I'm going to end up with an odd number. If I start with an odd number and I add an odd number, I'm going to end up with an even number. So that's something, I just noticed my screen got really blurry for a second. Sorry, y'all. That's something that I can notice about there. Okay. All right, let's try another one. So for this one, I'm going to start with the number 1. And my rule is going to be times 8. Okay, so I'm going to start with the number 1. And I'm going to follow my rule is times 8. 1 times 8 is 8. Okay, now I'm going to go 8 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. I'm getting big numbers here. Ruh-roh, I can do this. Now I'm going to go 64 times 8. I need to do a little bit of math on the side over here. 64 times 8. Okay. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 6 is 48. Plus 3 more is 51. So 64 times 8 is 512. Okay, now I'm going to make some observations about my pattern. So what I notice is I started with an odd number and I multiplied by an even number and got an even number. Here I started with an even number and multiplied by an even number and I got an even number. And we have even and even and even again. So I can guess that my next number is going to be even as well. So from here, I've noticed that an odd number times an even number equals an even number. And an even number times an even number equals an even number. All right. Okay, let's try one more number pattern here. This time I'm going to start, I'm going to do a two-step rule this time. This time I'm going to start with 0. And my rule is going to be plus 3 minus 1. Okay, so first I'm going to add 3, then I'm going to subtract 1. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to start with 0. That's my term 1. And then I'm going to do my two-step rule. Plus 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. Minus 1 is 2. Okay, 2. I'm going to do my rule again to get another term. 2 plus 3 is 5. Minus 1 is 4. Do one more. Plus 3 minus 1. 4 plus 3 is 7. Minus 1 is 6. Okay, so I'm going to make some observations, and what I notice is that each of my numbers is even, and each of them increases by 2. It's plus 2. And if I look at my rule, I can notice that my rule is plus 3 minus 1, which I know is really plus 2, right? So I know that my rule here is really the same as plus 2. I can make that observation. And I know that my numbers are all going to be even here. Okay, super job, mathematicians. You've got your patterns down.